On a cold November morning in 1970, in the remote Isdal Valley near Bergen, Norway, a father and his two young daughters set out for a hike along a muddy path near a small stream. What they found among the rocks would become one of the most enduring mysteries in European cold case history. A woman lay on her back, her body partially consumed by fire, her face unrecognizable, her arms extended in the rigid posture that fire often leaves behind. Around her were scattered personal items that only deepened the enigma: a watch, a ring, earrings, a broken umbrella, plastic bottles, a fur hat soaked in petrol, and scraps of burned paper that had once been documents. No identification survived. The labels on her clothing had been carefully removed. She carried no purse, no wallet, nothing that revealed a name. Welcome to Blackscreen Briefings. The discovery was reported to Bergen police within hours. First responders arrived to a scene of deliberate concealment. The body rested in a steep, rocky part of the valley known locally as Ice Valley or Death Valley. Coordinates roughly 60 degrees 21 minutes north and 5 degrees 22 minutes east. The terrain is unforgiving: loose scree, boulders, sparse vegetation, and limited daylight in late autumn. That morning the temperature hovered near freezing, with overcast skies and patches of mist reducing visibility. The woman, estimated between 25 and 40 years old, had been burned with petrol, yet the fire had not consumed everything. Investigators recovered a purse, sleeping pills, a matchbox, rubber boots, nylon stockings, a woolen jumper, and a scarf. Most strikingly, they later linked the scene to two suitcases abandoned at Bergen railway station containing more clues: wigs, maps, large sums of cash in multiple currencies, and a single notepad filled with cryptic entries. From the start, this was no ordinary death. The woman had clearly taken steps to erase her identity before arriving in the valley. Yet science and painstaking police work would slowly reveal fragments of a life lived across borders. Her dental records showed 14 fillings and several high-quality gold crowns, work more common in Central or Eastern Europe than in Scandinavia at the time. Blood type O-negative. Fingerprints destroyed by the fire. The autopsy at Haukeland University Hospital determined the cause of death as carbon monoxide poisoning combined with barbiturate intoxication and extensive burns. She had consumed a large quantity of sleeping pills and alcohol. The official ruling was suicide, but the circumstances raised immediate doubts. Who travels with multiple identities, coded notes, and then chooses such a remote, difficult location to end her life? Over the following weeks, Norwegian police traced her final movements through hotel registration forms and witness statements. She had first appeared in Norway in March of 1970, staying at the Viking Hotel in Oslo and then several hotels in Bergen. She used at least 8 different aliases, all claiming Belgian nationality, but written in fluent German or French. Names such as Genevieve Lancier, Claudia Tielt, Claudia Nielsen, Vera Jarl, Fenella Lork, Elizabeth Lienhauer, and Alexia Zarnmerches appeared on the forms. Each address proved false when checked. She changed hotels frequently, never staying more than a night or two in the same place, always paying cash. Hotel staff remembered a well-dressed woman who spoke several languages with ease, sometimes with a slight Southern European accent. She was seen with unidentified men on a few occasions, though descriptions remained vague. Her last confirmed stay was at the Hotel Horteheimen in Bergen from the 19th to the 23rd of November under the name Elizabeth Lienhauer. She checked out and vanished. The suitcases were left at the station around the same time. No one saw her again until the discovery 6 days later. The coded notebook found in one suitcase provided another layer. It was a small, ordinary notepad with rows of letters and numbers in a simple alphanumeric system. Police eventually decoded the entries as records of hotel stays, dates, travel expenses, and possible meeting points. The handwriting suggested a high level of education and possible French or neighboring country schooling. The notes did not contain overt military secrets, but the pattern of movement across Norway coincided with a period of heightened NATO activity. In 1970, Norway hosted military exercises, submarine patrols, and intelligence monitoring along its coastline. The woman's frequent changes of identity and her presence near western ports raised questions about whether she was observing naval traffic or installations. Decades passed with the case growing colder. Then, in 2017, a major forensic breakthrough arrived through modern science. Researchers from the University of Bergen, working with CREPOs and international experts, including Professor Jurian Hoogwerf at the University of Canberra, applied strontium and oxygen isotope analysis to 3 of her teeth. These elements are absorbed into dental enamel during childhood and teenage years from the water and food consumed in specific geological regions. The results were revealing. The isotopes indicated she had spent her early childhood in one area, likely Eastern or Central Europe, before moving during her teenage years to a different region consistent with Western or Central Europe, most probably near the French-German border or southern Germany. The analysis also helped estimate her birth around 1930, plus or minus a few years. This was the first time Norwegian police had used isotope analysis on teeth in a criminal case. It narrowed her possible origins dramatically and explained the high-quality dental work more typical of Central European dentistry at the time. Further examination of mitochondrial DNA placed her in haplogroup H24, pointing toward matrilineal roots in Southeast Europe or Southwest Asia. No full nuclear DNA profile yielded a direct match in available databases. As of 2026, these findings from 17 remain the most significant scientific advancement. Renewed public discussion in 2024 and 2025, including amateur re-examinations of the carbon isotope data and online genealogical efforts, has kept the case alive, but Norwegian authorities have not conducted additional official isotope or DNA tests. The 1977 analysis continues to be the foundation for all modern understanding of her early life. The Cold War context of 1970 adds another dimension. Norway was a frontline NATO member. Soviet submarines operated in the North Sea. Intelligence services from both sides monitored each other closely. The woman's multiple passports, coded travel logs, and presence in port cities fit the profile of someone engaged in low-level surveillance or courier work. Similar unidentified cases, such as the 1995 Jennifer Fergat death in Oslo, have invited comparison, though none have been conclusively linked. Declassified documents from Norwegian and international archives contain no direct reference to her. Possible agencies discussed over the years include the KGB, Stasi, or even Western services, but nothing has been proven. The coded notebook entries, once thought to track military sites, appear instead to document her own movements and expenses. Several theories have emerged over the decades. One suggests she was a Czech agent using the name Tamara, based on early speculation, but no evidence supports it. Another points to German origins, sometimes linked to the name Ingrid, aligning with the isotope map showing southern Germany. A third explores an Italian or southern European connection under the name Maria, though less substantiated. She could have been a spy monitoring NATO exercises. She could have been a criminal involved in smuggling or a defector fleeing a past life. Or she may simply have been a troubled traveler seeking anonymity. The evidence for espionage remains circumstantial. The aliases, the wigs, the cash, the careful removal of labels. The evidence against includes the lack of any proven intelligence connection and the high dose of barbiturates consistent with suicide. The fire itself could have been an attempt to destroy evidence or a ritual act. No theory has been confirmed. 54 years later, many questions remain unanswered. We still do not know her true name or exact place of birth. We do not know with certainty whether her death was suicide, murder staged to appear as suicide, or an accidental overdose. We do not know who accompanied her to the valley or why the body was burned there. The purpose of the coded notes and the multiple identities continues to puzzle researchers. The families of missing women from the suggested regions have submitted DNA in hope of a match, yet none has succeeded. The case still matters because it represents the limits of even the most advanced forensic science when identity has been so deliberately erased. It stands as a reminder that in the shadows of the Cold War, some lives were designed to disappear completely. This briefing drew from verified records held by the Bergen police and CREPOs, the University of Bergen forensic reports, the 1917 isotope study led by Professor Jurian Hoogwerf, the NRK and BBC podcast Death in Ice Valley, and Interpol's Unidentified Persons database. No official Netflix production exists, but the case has been explored in numerous international documentaries and articles. I am your narrator. Until the next briefing.